and cloudy and just perfect. Here's the 0-1 and a swing and a fly ball toward the line in right. Jason Repko hustling into foul ground, and he's got it. Crosses the line into foul territory, and that's how Neal's night begins. Revs looking sharp tonight, Will. It's the debut at home of the new alternate 10th anniversary Navy jerseys with the gold trim, and also the 10th anniversary hats with the X logo, the Navy front panel, and golden back. And then there's what the Skeeters are wearing.
Yes, maybe we shouldn't paint a picture of that.
Here's Jeff Dominguez, who takes a strike right down the chute.
It is, well, it looks like some sort of baseball onesie. Charcoal gray shirts, charcoal gray pants with a stripe, a little blue and white down the legs, and, well, there it is.
Pitch here is just outside. It's like a prison onesie. Dominguez, the switch hitter, batting left.
The one-time Bob Uecker's line of Haywood's a convicted felon might come in handy.
The 1-1 from Neal, and a swing and a miss. Good cutter. And Neal, as Will mentioned, solid in that first start of the year. No decision, only went 4 innings, but actually had a bit of trouble to work in and out of throughout the night, but he did so. Revs eventually won. He deals and misses a little bit high. It was a 3-1 win at New Britain on Saturday night. Dominguez at 375 coming in. Neal standing slightly angled, starts his windup, fires, and it's fouled straight back. Our plate ump tonight is Ian Kelly, Eric Solfero, the umpire at first, Tim McCaffrey at third base. The Revs wore these Navy jerseys for Game 2 of the doubleheader at Somerset, but it's the home debut for them tonight. 2-2 from Neal. And a called third strike. Snuck the fastball in. Dominguez locked up on the inside corner. 2 up, 2 down here in the first.
Well, it's got to feel pretty good for Matt Neal. First strikeout of the season for him. And Darryl, before we start getting calls from the sponsors, I know that someone was sponsoring that starting lineup.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, Will. Did I cover our cheat sheet?
Yeah.
My bad. Well, Flying Feet, they're a friend of the show,
Feet,
so
yeah.
We'll make it up to them.
Thanks, Feet.
Here's Delwyn Young. Neal misses up high. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about. I had the sheet buried in all of our reams of paperwork here.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're finding our own routine now. It's early season for everybody here at Peoples Bank Park.
Fastball misses high, 2-0. I'll tell you what, opening day, there is no routine. There was, you don't know how it's quite going to play out timing-wise with all of the preparations as Young swings and foul tips one off Castillo, but last night a ton of fun. Everything went great. And here tonight, I think with the ceremonies complete, it's all about business for the Revs and trying to snap this skid. Young at 182 coming in, 4 for 22, and that's dangerous because that would mean he's due. The 2-1 fastball inside. This alternate Navy jersey for the Revs, it's got the Revolution script word mark on the front in gold number. In the back, subtly, as Neal deals, and a swing at a deep drive foul. Young way out in front and headed toward the train tracks in right. On the back, there is, in subtle print, the names of every player that has ever worn the Revolution uniform.
Well, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Neal fiddles for the grip. He kicks, fires, and a swing and a pop foul off to the left and out of play.
Darryl, as a traditionalist, I'm naturally suspicious of alternate uniforms in general, but these, very well done.
Boy, they are sharp.
Yeah, nothing too gaudy, nothing too plain. This is the sort of thing that you'd want to just grab up and take home with you.
And the hat's a perfect addition with it. And they set up away, another payoff pitch, and it missed a little bit high. So Sugarland will have a first inning base runner as Young heads to first on the 2-out walk.
I'll tell you what those hats remind me of. They remind me of when the Cincinnati Reds had the All-Star game a couple of years ago. The two-tone hats. Wait, no, that wasn't the Reds. The Reds had the stripe, I'm pretty sure. It was. Who had the game last year?
Last year was Cincy. Year before that, maybe? Minnesota?
Maybe. Minnesota, yeah. That was it. They had the two-tone caps.
That's right. Here's Kent Mathis. He's in the lineup tonight. Pitch from Neal is right down the middle for a ball. Mathis hitting at 286 with a home run and 4 driven in. Did not play last night, but back in their lineup this evening. Well, Neal set at the belt, and the 1-0. Fastball upstairs again. Now he's up to 17 pitches in this first inning. He did have the first 2 outs, a long battle with Young that ended up with him reaching. And now 2-0 on Mathis. On the stretch. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball to shortstop. Josh Wilson's got it. He'll feed Perez at the bag, underhanded, and that'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. Good start for Matt Neal. At the end of a half inning, it's the Skeeters nothing. The Revs coming up.
Hey, sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
The War of the Roses is the grittiest revolution battle since Bunker Hill, and in 2016, it's bigger than ever. Sponsored by PNC Bank, the 20-game series between York and Lancaster now has unique on-field hats that will be worn exclusively during these contests. Pick up the ticket plan that nets you all 10 home games against the Barnstormers and receive a replica of the York War of the Roses hat. Be on site each and every time the Revs take on their Cross River rivals. Enlist today at 801-HITS or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
What's up, y'all?
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
And you're listening to the best.
Okay. Mattingly and the Dodgers realized it wasn't working out. Nobody wants to say somebody was fired. Nobody wants to say somebody was resigned. Now, I know it's semantics here. Mattingly's gone and the Dodgers move on. I do think it's best for both because I think with new management, they want their guy. They want a sabermetrics and analytics guy. Mattingly was not that guy.
Dan Patrick.
Don't be a hater. Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
No score as Jason Repko digs in here in the bottom of the first. Ian Marshall's first pitch is inside. Repko, an 8-game hitting streak coming in. 8, batting at 286. Got the hitting streak taken care of in his first home at bat of the year last night as he watches a strike on the outer third. Facing Marshall, who comes in 0-1 with an ERA of 90. 1 inning, 10 runs in his first start. The 1-1 pitch, fastball, and he perfectly locates it. Outer edge.
Darryl, I'm not one for hyperbole, but I think Ian Marshall had one of the worst starts in Atlantic League history his last time out. 90.
Tough to outdo that. Here's a swing and a miss on a curveball, and he had Repko fooled and starts the game tonight with a strikeout.
And math says that his ERA drops from 90 to 67.5. So
it's a good out for
yeah.
him.
Make that into a roller coaster at Cedar Point. That's how far the drop is.
Very productive first out for Ian Marshall. Here's Josh Wilson. Wilson swinging the bat better as he takes just off the plate away. Comes in tonight in the midst of a 6-game hitting streak. Batting average at 242. Marshall deals, and that's down and outside. In that first start, 1 inning, 10 runs. It came on 8 hits, 3 walks. Only 2 of the hits extra bases. Those were doubles. Now he winds the 2-0, and a swing on a well-hit ball down the line in left, but turning foul. Wilson with a rocket down into the corner, but just a hair early.
He wanted to test out that arch nemesis. Didn't get the chance to yesterday. Came very close this time around. And he was trying to match his buddy Telvin Nash with a first inning home run over that big wall. Biggest wall in professional baseball. So take that, Boston.
And that's the thing with Wilson here recently. He's had a lot of balls like that hit foul. Pitch. Oh, and it hit him again. He was hit by a pitch last night, and this one ran in. Looked like it might have been a changeup, and it glanced off his front arm. And he'll wear that and see the on-base percentage go up a little bit as he heads to first.
Oh, Wilson's making like Revs franchise 4-member Chris Nowak, who used to stand there right on top of the plate and get plunked with everything.
Yeah, Mace was talking about that earlier today. Some of the adjustments he'd like to see his hitters make, and he brought up the way that Nowak used to approach it. Just standing on the plate, taking away the outer part as Perez digs in and takes a little bit high. A lot of pitchers in this league want to work off speed and away, and thinking of ways to try to combat that. Perez coming in tonight at 2:08. 1-0, and a slider breaks away. 2 balls and no strikes.
Wilson's attempted 1 stolen base this year. He was caught. Just 2 of 9, the Revolution, at stealing bases so far this year. That's not even a good batting average.
That's surprising. 2-0, and a fly ball, left center field, hit pretty well. Prince back, now has to turn and cut over in left center and makes the grab. Perez didn't quite square it up. Prince thought he may have. He initially was sprinting straight back, and then had to run a curl route and come back in left center. Still medium deep, though, where he made the grab. And with 2 outs, here's Telvin Nash, who got the home schedule started with a bang in the first inning last night. Another tape measure shot. Second home run on the year. And they set up in. First pitch is up and in. And the catcher, Wilfredo Rodriguez, something that caused him to want to head out to the mound right away after that pitch. Must have been crossed up on signals. On our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest tonight, if Nash or any Rev goes yard, one lucky fan could win. And tonight, that is Elaine Vaughn, our participant. Up for a prize pack, perhaps. Wilson dancing from first. Pitch to Nash. Popped straight up, a mile up. And Rodriguez back behind the plate near the screen. And he overstepped it, and it lands behind him. And Nash still with life. He took a step or two too far, and it was straight behind the plate. Didn't have to go left or right, but just one step too much. It spun back, landed behind him. He didn't even touch it, and he will be charged with an error. So Nash still with life, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. No score here in the first inning. And Marshall comes set. A move to first. Wilson dives in. Nash, the home run last night, snapped an 0 for 14 skid since Saturday night. But he really needed to connect on one, and he did have a lot of hard hit outs on that stretch. The 1-1 and a slider sat a little bit high. He's only 3 for 27 coming in, but 2 of the 3 have left the yard and then some, and he does have 7 walks.
Adam Dunn would be proud.
Yeah. There's the 2-1 swing, and he pops this one up in fair territory in the infield. Shortstop Haig in behind the mound. He'll call and catch, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left. And no score tonight. Revs and Skeeters heading to the second.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man!
I know they help me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
What if I told you your family of four could have an all-inclusive outing for only $55? The York Revolution are telling you that right now. The Family Fun Pack includes 4 flexible ticket vouchers to be used whenever you'd like, 4 food vouchers for hot dogs, chips, and drinks, 2 playground wristbands, and a parking pass. Again, $55. Have more than 4 in your family? Additional tickets and food vouchers are only $10. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Scoreless as we head to the second. Last night's hero for Sugarland and public enemy for the Revs, Johan Lamonte, will lead things off. Limo 4 ribbies last night, including the 3-run homer off the top of the wall and right on a 3-0 green light, and he takes a first pitch strike here. He stole the show with all those former teammates in the house. And then they were heckling him in the 9th inning.
That was a sight to see.
It's the 0-1, and it just missed inside. He's got this two-tone bat, and Noack was down in the front row as Neal kicks and delivers, and a foul back into the net. There goes the bird perched on top. Disturbance for our feathered friend. But I could hear Noack say, "I hope you break that pretty bat that you're carrying up there." And they were heckling the umpire, and why not?
All the stuff you couldn't do as actual players, you know?
They had a great time. That was awesome. And Limo was laughing about it. Guys are great pros. Here's a swing and a foul back off the facing of the roof, and it plops down.
Right back to the Skeeters on deck circle.
I'm sure the members of this year's team also appreciated seeing the way that some of the greats before them were welcomed back. There's the wind and the 1-2. And it misses down and in. Lamonte hopping and tossed the bat aside, saying he was hit, and the plate ump Ian Kelly signaled safe and said, "No, you weren't hit by that pitch." Lamonte trying to buy first base. And he was trying to act, and he's all smiles as he goes over to pick up the bat. Unless he's wincing, but he's not arguing, and the Revs dugout's laughing. He was trying to win that one over. Didn't work.
He should have taken a couple more drama classes in college, you know?
Yeah. The 2-2, and he swings and fouls it the other way and out of play. Well, with the big performance last night, he's hitting a robust .421, 8 for 19, 3 doubles, a homer, 7 driven in 5 games. And Neal will try it again, and missed in the dirt and inside. Now a full count. Fans bundled up here tonight. A few folks out on the lawn as well. I guess Cannonball Charlie just isn't loud enough from in here. Right out there next to him. That's right. Here's
exactly
the payoff pitch. And a cut down low. Some late run from Neal, and it dipped right out of the strike zone, a leadoff walk. No score here in the second inning. On our WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report, the Revs are healthy, knock on wood. Sugarland without Tyson Gillies day-to-day with a shoulder injury, and also pitcher Jerry Sullivan, who's currently on their DL. It's your WellSpan Sports Medicine injury report. Here is Jeremy Barfield, who's hitting at .320. 8 for 25. Pitch from Neal. And that cuts right over the plate for ball one.
Now Tyson Gillies, a big hole in this lineup for Sugarland tonight. He's the second leading hitter in the Atlantic League at a .420 average. That's 9 for 20. Very young into the season. Trails only Steve Lombardozzi of Southern Maryland.
Pitch here is swung on and missed. A slider. Gillies very fast as well. And he was, if Phillies fans may remember, acquired by Philadelphia in the deal that sent Cliff Lee to Seattle back in, it was before the 2010 season. The 1-1 from Neal. Check swing and tap foul in the left-hand batter's box where Castillo grabbed it. A 1-2 count on the right-hand hitting Jeremy Barfield. He's a big guy. Listed at 6'5", 245. Last year started the year on a tear with Camden, went to Mexico, and then on to Sugarland when he came back. Pitch from Neal is swung on, bounced to short. Wilson steps up into his right, throws to second. That's all they'll have time to get, as they do nip Lamanta, and Wilson did have to come in on a slow bouncer and range right. So no chance to turn two, but they get the initial out at second base. And our K-man, Andy LaRoche, up next. 1 on, 1 out, scoreless in the second. And LaRoche digs in, hitting at .250, 3 for 12. He's played in 4 of their 8 games. Skeeters 5-3, the Revs 3-5 coming into this one. And Neal the stretch. First pitch is just off the corner away.
Well, LaRoche got the start yesterday, went 2 for 4 with an RBI, and he was hit by a pitch. The only Skeeter batter that was hit yesterday. 2 Revs were plunked.
Here's a rip and a base hit to left. Jumps on it and lines a single to left field. Barfield up to second, and it's 2 on with 1 out on the game's first hit.
Well, that's Neal sensing the work of the home plate umpire Ian Kelly tonight, and he had to groove one that he knew was going to be a strike by anyone's book, and LaRoche took that and said thank you and deposited it right there in left field.
Sure did. Here's Rick Haig, the shortstop. Neal should have been ahead in the count. Haig 4 for 16, hitting .250. And he swings, hits one in the air, left center. Simmons over a couple of steps, has it lined up, catch is made. And he'll rifle one in on one hop to third. Runners stay put, 2 down. Haig out on 1 pitch. The number 9 hitter, Wilfredo Rodriguez, the catcher, coming up.
Neal could use a quick out of this inning here. He's already up to 33 pitches. Not too inefficient, but you want to make quick work of Rodriguez. Otherwise, you're on pace for hitting the century mark sometime around the 5th inning.
And that's what prevented him from going more than 4 innings in his first start. Rodriguez stands in. 3 for 10 in the early going this season. 2 ribbies. First pitch is down low. Skeeters had about 1 million base runners last night. They had 12 hits, 11 walks. They did strand 15. Tonight thus far, 2 walks and a hit from Neal as he tries to finish off inning number 2. And into his stretch. Couple checks, the 1-0. And it missed out off the corner away. So a hitter's count for Rodriguez. 2-0. look in and set. Now Neal delivers, and that's down and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Not what he wanted to go to on the 9th place hitter. Sugarland is a team batting .300, which is what Rodriguez is hitting coming in tonight in a short period of time. Sugarland 6 runs per game. Now the stretch from Neal. 3-0, and it's up high. A 4-pitch walk loads the bases. Second walk of the inning, and he'll now have to face Josh Prince with them loaded. This is 3rd walk overall, which is very unlike him. Neal averaging fewer than 2 walks per 9 innings for his entire career.
How much of that is early season jitters, and how much of that is the cold that we're dealing with tonight, Darryl?
I think it's a combination tonight. Here's Josh Prince, and first pitch, a fastball. It's over for a strike. I just think early in the season, you're still kind of trying to get comfortable those first couple of outings, and then you add 53 degrees and damp to the mix, and it's not easy. Pitch here is down and away.
They should have started the season about a week and a half ago when we were having sunny and 75
I
weather.
Got sunburn at spring training again. I think that was some of the struggles last night. You had some guys with walk totals that you normally wouldn't see. Pitch to Prince, a fastball strike right on the corner away where Castillo was set up. 1-2. Now when Neal's hitting his spots, it looks like darts because he's got this nice compact delivery, nice and easy. It looks effortless. Now he's ready. And the 1-2. Swinging a liner to right. Repko reading it in a step. He's got it. Inning over. Neal works out of it. Motioning to himself. It looks like he had more plate than he wanted there on that pitch, but gets away with it. No runs, 1 hit, and he leaves them loaded. We go to the bottom of the second. No score.
It's the angles, the ball skills, the corner kicks. It's knowing how to shield a defender off the ball. It's knowing how to make a wall pass. It's knowing how to curl the ball, how to chip it, how to trap it, how to launch it, how to finish it. It's soccer, and nobody knows that better than Flying Feet sports shoes. Flying Feet. Suit up for soccer at Flying Feet, where players new to the game find everything they need, and collegiate-level players find all that and more. Soccer shoes for men, women, and children from the names that know the game. Adidas, Diadora, Lotto, and Nike. Players choose Flying Feet to get the right shoe at the right price. Plus a huge selection of soccer socks, soccer shorts, shin guards, and sports bags. Even referees get the nod at Flying Feet, where refs come for all their gear. Individual players, entire teams, if it's soccer, it's Flying Feet sports shoes. The sportswear specialty store without specialty store prices. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, just off exit 18 of I-83, next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
No score, bottom of the second. Joel Guzman to lead things off. And Ian Marshall's first pitch is fouled straight back. That was in on Guzman's hands. And he let it rip, but fouled it straight back. Nice to meet you two.
Yeah. Hi, foul ball. I'm Elaine.
That's the 0-1. And a swing and a liner to left field. Barfield watching the wall, and it's off just left of the manual scoreboard. He'll play to Karam and hold Guzman, his former Camden teammate, to a single. But Joel, who I think this season has a chance to wear out that wall and left, he hits his first shot off of it, right off the sprint sign to the left of the numbers on the boards in left field. A wall ball single, and here's Brian Pounds. Pounds coming in at 167, a slow start, but obviously everybody here knows what he can do. And the first pitch from Marshall is up and in.
Brian Pounds, another one of these guys who's not used to cold weather. He's from Houston, Texas, the parent city of Sugarland, and I'm sure he's just as cold as some of the other guys are.
The 1-0, and a swing and a miss on a fastball. Well, some of the Latin American players have said that it actually does get cool on the islands near the water at times. In Houston, I don't think it ever gets cool, having been there. It might even be hotter there than it is in the Caribbean. The 1-1, and a swing and a fly ball to right. Coming on is Kent Mathis. He settles under it and makes the catch for the first out. Caribbean or Caribbean, or does it matter?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I've said both. So.
Of course. No, it's an unimaginative person who can only come up with one or two ways to pronounce a word. I think Andrew Jackson said that.
I never gave it that much thought, but
neither did he.
Here's James Simmons, who's hitting at 233. First pitch is popped up foul, back and out of play. Simmons was going along pretty well, held hitless last night, and that's one of the things early in a season. The numbers fluctuate so much. In fact, even standings-wise, I think if you took a poll of the managers, they wouldn't worry too much until maybe 3 weeks in. There's a fastball up high. You just want to not play your way out of the first half. If you can tread water the first couple of weeks and then hit your stride, I think you're good.
Well, you could say this about the Freedom Division, probably not the Liberty Division as it's going right now.
Or maybe not there. So the 1-1, Guzman fakes going, and Simmons taps a foul behind the plate.
I think on that note, it's a good time to look at our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by York Mitsubishi. Undefeated Somerset Patriots begin in, they're about to begin in Lancaster against the Barnstormers. Other games going on right now. Long Island trailing Southern Maryland at Bethpage Ballpark 2-1. That's in the bottom of the second. And they're about to throw out the first pitch in Bridgeport between the Bluefish and the New Britain Bees.
The slider away. Simmons doesn't budge. 2-2. Somerset a 2-1 win at Lancaster last night, and they are now 8-0. So it wasn't just the Revs. I'd heard from Dave Collins after the game last night that Somerset yet again just finds a way to win a close game, and Lancaster had their chances in that one, just like York did on the road this week. The stretch, pitch to Simmons, down and away, and works it full, having a nice at-bat. No score here in the second inning.
So with all those wins, the Patriots 8-0, 4 games up on second place New Britain in that Liberty Division. Although if you believe in the ebb and flow of the baseball gods, you'll say, okay, Somerset's using all their come-from-behind wins in April. Rest of the league will take that for sure. It means there's more for everybody else to go around.
On the stretch, the 3-2, and it's beaten foul at the plate. Glanced off Simmons' foot protector, or shin protector. What did they do before they invented those? They use ice.
Mm-hmm.
Great invention for hitters. Marshall to the belt. Another 3-2. Tried to check. It's down and away, and on the appeal to first, he's rung up. Eric Solfero said he went past the plate with it, and Simmons down on strikes, second out of the inning. We'll pause for station identification here on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
2 down, here's Keith Castillo, his first home at bat, and he takes low. Switch hitter bats from the left. I think Revs fans will enjoy seeing this new addition as well.
I think they'll enjoy seeing his face up on the board with that gigantic muskrat.
Some serious facial hair. The stretch and the 1-0. Swings and drives it the other way toward the left center gap and down for a hit and back to the fence. Guzman at third and Polo frantically sending him. Relay to the plate. He slides around the tag. He got the hand in. And it's an RBI double for Keith Castillo, and Guzman, a great slide at the plate. He slid short of the plate. Rodriguez went for the tag, and Guzman swam around him and got the left hand on the dish.
We saw Ian Kelly delay a little bit with that call. I think he was looking to see if Rodriguez had the ball in his hands, and he pointed to the plate and said, no, he doesn't have the ball. I think if he had kept it, he would have been out, but oh man, nice hustle there from Joel Guzman, and Polo sending him immediately, the moment that was off the bat of Castillo.
Ribby for Keith, here's Rocket, and a breaking ball just outside. So the second pitch that Castillo sees at home. First at bat, he doubles the other way for an RBI. He is a very good opposite field hitter. 1-0 York. The 1-0 to Rocket. Fastball over for a strike. Guzman, that was a little bit of an awkward finish at the plate, but he was up and walking back to the dugout, so hopefully just fine. 1-1 to Rocket. Swing and a foul tip squeezed on a breaking ball. Rocket at 192 coming in, but he's had about as many hard hit outs as anybody on the team. On the stretch, and the 1-2. Fastball called, third strike, and he looks back in shock right away. He thought it was low. That's how the inning will end. The Revs, though, with a 2-out run. Most of their runs of late have come on 2-out hits, and they tack on another one here. 1 run, 2 hits in the inning, 1 left. It's 1-0 York as we head to the third.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community
and hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need some fun with your food? Where else but Friendly's? Stop by Friendly's at 423 Laux Road in York for great deals like 50% off breakfast Monday to Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. or one of our 5 lunch and dinner meals for $5.55, including the quarter-pound cheeseburger. Stop by after the game with your Revs game ticket and save 15%. Friendly's has got you covered with great deals all day long. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
It is a 1-0 Revs lead as we head to the third. Jeff Dominguez to lead things off for Sugarland. And Matt Neal kicks. His first pitch of the inning is on the outside corner for a strike. Dominguez a strikeout looking his first time. Revs in front on the RBI double from Keith Castillo, the 0-1. And it hooks inside, a curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Dominguez a hero, not so much with the bat yesterday, although he did score 2 runs, but he was a star flashing the leather out in right field.
He was swinging a trickler foul off to the right of home plate.
It was either the 7th or the 8th inning where there were 2 hard hit balls out there to right field by Revs hitters, and Dominguez dove for one, slid to catch another one. He was a human extra base killer that night.
Fastball down and in, missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two, 3, and 4 in the order. Here in the 3rd inning for Neal to face. Now winds and delivers, and a cue ball foul off the end of the bat towards Sugarland's dugout. Dominguez, a returning Skeeter.
His 3rd year in the last 4 playing in Sugarland. He was in Somerset back in 14.
Pitch to him, and a swing and a fly ball the other way in left. Rocket turned toward the line, now turns toward the middle, and backing up makes the catch for the first out. 1 away here in the 3rd. Rocket can play every outfield position. They've been using him in left field with the current alignment. And he can play really every infield position too. Versatility is really remarkable. Here's Delwyn Young, who walked in the 1st inning. First pitch from Neal is up and in, a slider. Neal spent his off-season in Arizona. The 1-0. And a towering fly ball foul down the right field side.
Second time today that Young has just got under 1. And I'll tell you, Darrell, it's a big psychological block for a power hitter when you just get in front of one and just hook it down the foul line. It's really tough to come back and hit a home run or even get on base, let alone clear the fence.
Next one is swung on and yanked foul again.
Imagine what that does if it's 2 foul balls.
Hit hard into the picnic area and right. Well, I'll give you an idea of the kind of hitter that I was growing up. Every good ball I hit was foul. Imagine what that did to me.
At least you got to hit the balls.
There's a fastball up high, and it's 2-2.
Did you have trouble with the curve?
No, I didn't even try to swing at that.
Yeah, I had trouble with the curve too. And the slider and the fastball and the changeup and, well, everything beyond pitching machine days.
Pitch from Neal, swinging a high pop-up. Perez from second will range out. Repko hustles in and calls off Dre, who gets out of there. And Repko makes the catch, 2 down. Perez hearing Repko behind him and got out of there as quickly as he could.
Some good communication there. That's the sort of thing that you see mid-season when guys are used to each other. It's nice to see them so in sync even here in April.
1-0, Revs lead it here in the 3rd. Here's Kent Mathis. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. And Neal ready to go. Kicks and fires. And right down the middle for a strike. Castillo into that low setup again with the right leg straight out. Looks like it hurts, but he's able to get right down on the dirt. He'll do it again, the 0-1, and a curveball missed high. Castillo was, speaking of flexibility and athleticism, a tremendous 3-sport star in high school at Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California. It was a fastball wide. That school turned out the likes of Matt Leinert, Matt Barkley, and Castillo played football there. He was a tight end and was voted best athlete in the school, which is saying a lot at that particular institution. Here's a drive in left center. Rocket back to the track, looks, it's gone. Out by the playground in left center. And Kenton Mathis, a solo homer, ties it up. His second of the year. Neal got the pitch up, and Mathis drives it out. 1-1 our score here in the third inning. Only the third home run given up by Revs pitching, but the second here in as many nights.
That one just the solo variety against Neal. The first one we saw last night from the Skeeters. Lamanna put that one in right field that scored 3 runs.
And here he is. He walked the first time tonight, swings and fouls one back over the net. And it's 0-1 on Lamonta.
Now, if you're Neal, you just got to shake that off. It's not the sort of home run that's going to ruin the game for you. It's just one of those you got to say la vie and pitch him again.
And a swing and a miss on a cutter. Well, to give you an idea, the Revs coaching staff in the dugout chuckling at the moment, so they're not too worried about it. Really, the goal for the starter is to give you 6 innings and give you a chance to win. Now delivers, and a tapper off the plate toward the middle. Perez will cut it off from second, throws across his body. Nash, a great tag. Got the sweep tag on him. Perez ranging up the middle. He gloved it letter high, and a tough throw against his momentum, but Nash, the sweep tag to finish things. And the solo homer, the only damage in the top of the third. 1-1 our score with the Revs coming to bat in the home half.
An invasive pest that's already killed millions of ash trees is bearing down on our communities. The emerald ash borer, or EAB, means certain death for every ash tree it infects. The good news is that you can protect your property's ash trees with help from Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Our EAB prevention methods are effective, environmentally safe, and less costly than removing your dead tree, which is the only alternative to prevention. Learn more at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school on time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
He's a professional. I got Coach David Shaw here on the Rich Eisen Show with me. If you continue to win, there is a shot that you have for 100% to be in the college playoff. Do you talk about this with your kids at all?
We don't really avoid it, but we don't emphasize it because things like that are earned. There's no benefit of talking about things that you haven't earned.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Tied at 1 as the top of the Revs order comes to bat. Jason Repko taking high to begin the home third. Struck out in the first inning. Ian Marshall already worlds better than his first start. He delivers, and a bouncing ball in front of the plate. Oh, and at third base, LaRoche pulled up. Repko beat it into the dirt in front of the plate, down to third, and LaRoche playing up, charging up, just pulled the glove up too soon, and it glanced off the end underneath, stayed low. He'll be charged with an error. Revs will take it. Repko on to start the inning.
Second error of the night for the Skeeters. Coming into the series, York was the one who was having some trouble fielding the ball with one of the lower fielding percentage in the Atlantic League. Sugarland was right near the top, and those roles reversed on a Friday night in Central PA.
Here's Josh Wilson, hit by a pitch in the first. Pitch from Marshall is swung on, hit in the air in center, though, and shallow. Got under it. Shortstop Haig is out and makes an over-the-shoulder grab. Dominguez, the second baseman, going after it, tried to bail out of the way and went down on all fours. Kind of an awkward finish for him. Meanwhile, Haig hanging on in the over-the-shoulder grab in shallow center. Dominguez was a little slow back to his feet, but seems to be okay. Here's Andres Perez with 1 on and 1 out. Perez a fly out to center in the first. Thank him for joining us, joining Will in the pregame as Marshall misses inside.
Yep, Dre, I'm sure he was concerned after the game began where all those Corvettes went, and hoped that they weren't parked behind the arch nemesis. Otherwise, you're going to see a rather beautiful car with a giant black eye.
Marshall steps off, looking over at Repko at first. Perez has done his share of damage over that big wall throughout the years. A 1-0, and it tailed back, didn't get the call though, and Perez with a 2-0 count. Some late run on that two-seamer from Marshall, 88 miles an hour on the board.
Good hitters count here at 2-0. I wonder if you put the hit and run on with a speedy Repko, who has one of the 2 stolen bases for the Reds so far this season.
Tied at 1 here in the third inning. And they will not. Pitch to Perez, slides way off the plate away. It's 3-0. Talvin Nash waiting on deck. Marshall, 29 years old. We've seen him in the league with Southern Maryland, Long Island, and before last season traded to Long Island for Sean Garceau, which landed him in Southern Maryland. Here's the 3-0. Oh, come on. Perez walking toward first. It was up and it was outside, and the 3-0 automatic strike will bring him back to the plate.
Make-up call for that 1-0 pitch that seemed to cross right down the heart of George Street was still called a ball.
I hate the automatic. It's a strike or it's not. The 3-1 and a rip at third. It's caught. Throw back to first. Repko is halfway to second, and that's the inning. Perez should have had ball 4, and he lines into a 5-3 double play. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. Will DeBoer will have the call as we head to the 4th. 3 innings complete tonight. Rebs and Skeeters tied at 1.
Smith, Mayer & Little is a holistic wealth management group with one product, advice. We aim to simplify our clients' lives, help them retire comfortably, and build lasting legacies for their families and the causes they care about. Our purpose is simple, to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our clients, our community, and the world in which we live with the advice we provide. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. We make our living by making a difference. Visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Let's welcome back Gus, the second most famous groundhog in Pennsylvania.
Thanks, Glenn.
How was your birthday?
Great. We went to a Mexican restaurant. I played the maracas. It was a real blowout.
Speaking of which, tell us about the new blowout instant games from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
You can win $225 million in cash prizes.
Sounds like my kind of party. Thanks again, Gus.
Keep on scratching.
The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Eric Hosmer's got nothing on this. Mad Dash Grilled Cheese is comfort for Eric's finest. Mad Dash is Central PA's favorite artisan grilled cheese truck, bringing you creative concoctions with the freshest and most flavorful ingredients. Available for food truck festivals, weddings, corporate, and private caterings. Find Mad Dash this year along the third base line at People's Bank Park for all York Revolution home games. Call 717-574-5168 or visit online at mad-grilledcheese.com. Mad Dash Artisan Grilled Cheese. Welcome home.
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We head to the top of the 4th from People's Bank Park. Will DeBoer, Darrell Henry with you on WOYK 1350. Well, Darrell walking away for the moment. Thanks, D. First pitch strike right down the heart to Jeremy Barfield. It's Barfield, LaRoche, and Haig due up for the Skeeters in this inning. It's 1-1 as we're here in the top of the 4th. And Neal misses low and outside with the slider. It is 1 ball and 1 strike.
I've been smelling the pork for an hour. I'll be back.
All right. Go have your sloppy Joe.
Thank you.
Matty into the windup. Here comes the 1-1. Jammed him inside, and Barfield pops it up foul towards the first base bleachers. And a young fan from East York's going to take that home and put it on her shelf. Barfield reached on a fielder's choice, got all the way to third back in the second inning before Matt Neal buckled down and retired the Skeeters with a big old goose egg on the board. And there's a chopper over to the left side. Over for it is Pounds, who bobbles, recovers, throws over to first in time, one away. Matt Neal, a nice 4-pitch at bat. That's what he needs right now. He's at 63 pitches through 3 1/3 innings, so he's going to have to get more efficient if he wants to get beyond the 5th. He's got Andy LaRoche, the K batter for the day here at Peoples Bank Park. If he strikes out, it's Little Caesars breadsticks or Crazy Bread or whatever bread product they have. Has a liner into center, right to Simmons, who moves a couple of shuffle steps to his left to make the catch, 2 away. No Crazy Bread, no problem. 2 up and 2 down in the top of the 4th. Now it's Rick Haig, the shortstop. Rick, nicknamed The Haig. The only ball player actively who has the nickname The. And there's a fastball right down George Street, called strike 1. Haig flew out to center his first time up. That was swinging on the first pitch, so he takes at least one, and we'll see at least one more pitch in this showdown with Neal. Matty floats one in there, and a check swing, a call over at first base. They say that Haig went around. That's Eric Solfaro making the call, and that's 2 times tonight, I think, that they've made a go-around call on something that seemed pretty mild. Now the 0-2, Wormburner up the middle. There's to his knees. It's Wilson, who throws from the knees. Sidearm scoop by Nash for the out, and that will retire the side. Paint me a picture. That was a pretty one. A 6-3 from Wilson to Nash to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Neal. Skeeters go down in order. Middle of the 4th, your score, York 1 and Sugarland 1 on Rebs Radio.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series kicks off on Friday, April 29th with Governor Tom Wolf Bobblehead Night. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
It's time for York Mitsubishi's Spring Sell-Off Sale, now through April 30th. Save on all Outlanders, Lancers, Outlander Sports, and Mirages, with financing as low as 0% for 72 months and rebates up to $3,500. And as always, get our famous 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop by during York Mitsubishi's Spring Sell-Off Sale and see what we can do for you. York Mitsubishi, just off Route 30 on Roosevelt Avenue, York, where Mitsubishis always cost less.
Need some fun with your food? Where else but Friendly's? Stop by Friendly's at 423 Larks Road in York for great deals like 50% off breakfast Monday to Friday from 7 to 11 a.m. or one of our 5 lunch and dinner meals for $5.55, including the quarter-pound cheeseburger. Stop by after the game with your Revs game ticket and save 15%. Friendly's has got you covered with great deals all day long. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. First in York, first in sports.
Nash, Guzman, and Pounds as we lead off the last of the 4th inning. Revs and Skeeters tied 1 apiece in Game 2 of our 4-game weekend set. Ian Marshall into the windup. Here comes the first pitch to Telvin Nash. It's ripped on a 1-hop to short. Haig takes it. Takes his time with a rifle over to first for the out. 1 pitch and 1 down for Marshall as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Marshall much more efficient on his pitch count through the first 3. That was just his 42nd pitch to get the 10th out that he's gotten today. Although Neal did himself a favor with an 8-pitch 4th inning. Barring some implosion, we may see Matt through the next couple of frames here, given a quality start for Mark Mason and company. Joel Guzman coming up next, and he takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Guzman tested out the arch nemesis for the first time this season. Bounced one right over the sprint sign just left of center, and he pops one up, jammed him inside. It's drifting foul. Coming back for it is Rodriguez, who drops it. Second time today, Wilfredo Rodriguez has had trouble catching a pop fly. As it drifted behind the plate. And we're going to see whether or not that was an error, because it was a tougher play for Rodriguez. He had the backstop to worry about that time, as opposed to the first time that he dropped it. And there's a ground ball, shoots over the first base bag, and it's drifting into the corner. Fiddle the extra bases for Guzman. Joel sprinting over to second base. And all 6'7", full of muscles for him, stands on second base. Here's a one-out double for Joel Guzman, and the Revs have the go-ahead run 180 feet from the plate. And so with a runner in scoring position, Brian Pounds coming up. Pounds had a double himself last night, bringing home Guzman. And Joel was standing on first that time around. Marshall from the stretch. Breaking ball, fails to break. It drifts inside for ball 1. And they have yet to call this one an error, so no, we're going to say that that was an extraordinary effort from Rodriguez. Tried for the basket catch, but the backstop got in the way, so they won't charge an error to him as Marshall misses low and away for ball 2. York and Sugarland tied at 1 apiece for the moment. It's Guzman on second and 1 down here in the last of the 4th inning. Marshall gives him a look. Joel with a big lead. Here's the 2-0, and it skips past Rodriguez. A wild pitch from the right arm of Ian Marshall, and down to third goes Guzman. So now just a medium-range fly ball off the bat of Brian Pounds will bring home the go-ahead run for the Revolution. Infield coming in, Gary Garcetti, Garetti rather, manager for the Skeeters, bringing the infield in this time. 3-0 pitch, Pounds taking all the way, catches Black on the outside corner for strike 1. I'm a little surprised here. It seems like it's early enough in the game that you would just take the out and live to fight another inning. The infield still in. Marshall from the stretch to 3-1, swung on and missed for strike 2. Pounds waving at one right near his ear. And Marshall has fought back from down 3-0 to getting it to 3-2. Pounds flew out to right field his first time up. If he takes it here, that's a run for the Revolution. The payoff pitch, and a ground ball through the hole, left side base hit. Trotting home to score is Guzman, and on at first with an RBI single is Brian Pounds. It is 2-1 York. Pounds with a seeing eye single that time. Through the drawn-in infield, although I'll bet that even if LaRoche and Haig were playing from their normal positions, they would have had trouble getting to that one. A lot of velocity off the bat of Pounds, and he's got another RBI in this series. James Simmons standing in now. First pitch, breaking ball, inside corner, called strike 1. Infield at double play depth. Marshall will try and limit the damage to just a single run. Pounds no stolen base attempts so far this season. He's only got 6 in his career. And there's a rip over to the third base bleachers. It's a foul ball off the bat of Simmons. That came dangerously close to hitting somebody. The dangers you see of attending a baseball game. The majors are recognizing this, and there's that fervent debate over whether or not we should have netting stretch all the way along the bleachers and foul ground. 0-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. Got him fishing on a slider outside. Simmons picks up his second K of the evening. 7:40 Eastern Daylight Time. We played just over an hour, a clean hour of baseball here from Peoples Bank Park. Bottom of the fourth, York 2, Sugarland 1. With 2 down and a man on first, that's Pounds. It's Keith Castillo who found the left center gap back in the second inning and plated Guzman for the other run. And now he finds right field, a line drive base hit. Pounds hustling around second. He will go to third. The throw is not in time. And Pounds nearly stumbled over the bag. LaRoche not able to apply the tag in time. 2 out hitting for Keith Castillo for the second time. That's a very welcome sight for these York Revolution fans who are getting their first look at Castillo tonight. Certainly not at their first look at him in the league. He's been an Atlantic Leaguer since 2014. A combined 5 stints with Long Island, Lancaster, Southern Maryland, then Lancaster and Southern Maryland again. 2 down, a man on the corners, and Michael Rocket up next. Marshall have to dig deep. First pitch. Breaking ball outside corner, called strike 1. Michael Rocket, a looking strikeout to end the second inning. He was very, very, very not happy with that call from Ian Kelly to ring him up back in the second. 0-1, high and tight, ball 1. Michael Rocket, Sugarland native, spends his summers there. Attended the University of Texas at San Antonio. Here's the 1-1. Golfs it foul over towards the club seats high above the first base line. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pounds on third, Castillo on first. Temperatures starting to dip here at Peoples Bank Park as the sun dips itself below the horizon. Rocket in that low crouch. Marshall from the stretch, the 1-2. Low and away, nice block by Rodriguez, and the count goes even. Well, Rodriguez has had a tough go of it from behind the dish tonight, overrunning 1 foul ball and dropping another one as he ran into the backstop. But he's able to be his own backstop that time to prevent another run from coming home on a wild pitch. Repko on deck, Wilson in the hole if Rocket can extend the inning. Revs looking for their first crooked number tonight in the innings column. They've got 2 overall to Sugarland's 1. Marshall with the rock and the roll. Reaches out, golf from the right, and it one-hops to Mathis at third, at right field for a base hit. The run scores, and Castillo is thrown out as he overran second base, and the tag applied there by Haig, the shortstop. So it's a 2-out single for Michael Rocket, but the inning ends with the base running miscue by Castillo to retire the side. For the Revs, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on. Into the fourth, your score, York 3, Sugarland 1, here on Revs Radio WOYK.
You hear a lot about CPAP masks these days, but here's something you don't hear much about. Over half of the people who wear a CPAP mask for sleep stop wearing it within a year. How's that working for you? Dr. Gordon Bell would like you to hear this. York Dental Sleep Therapy has dental options that can help many of those people. If you or someone you live with is struggling with sleep apnea, visit yorksleep.com and see how Dr. Gordon Bell can help return your home to peaceful nights of deep, restful sleep. If you're groggy during the workday, if you wake up feeling exhausted, if you would like to get your nighttime sleep patterns back to a healthy state, get a confirmation from your doctor, then meet with Dr. Bell at his office on West Market Street in Pelham. He'll evaluate your symptoms and discuss which treatments would best suit your situation. Dr. Bell can restore restful sleep and get you feeling better day and night. York Dental Sleep Therapy. Call 316-1299 or visit yorksleep.com to learn more.
Pain doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the fifth inning, Matt Neal working with his largest lead. It's a cushion of 2. Revs 3, Skeeters 1. 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up. First is Wilfredo Rodriguez. Neal was halfway into his windup before the first base coach for Sugarland could even get over to his first base coach's box. False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty. We repeat the down. And Neal's first pitch to Rodriguez, a fastball on the outside corner for called strike 1. Wilfredo walked his first time up. That was on 4 pitches back in the second inning. Neal with the 0-1. Breaking ball, he left it hanging, but Rodriguez was late on it, and he fouls it back out of play down the right field line. Count goes to 0-2. Rodriguez 0 for 2, pitching high pop fouls in his own territory behind the plate. Overran the first and dropped the second. 0-2, foul back once again, same spot down the right field line. And a young fan from Redline will take that one home tonight. Rodriguez standing back in slightly open stance, knees bent, bat back on his shoulder. Here's the 0-2 from Neal. Popped him up, shallow right field. Out coming for it is Perez, the second baseman. He gives way to Repko out in right field, who makes the catch with one hand, one away. So that flips the order, and for the third time today, we will see Josh Prince. Prince, a couple of fly balls to right field in his first 2 trips. One a foul out, one your standard fly out. And he swings the first pitch and pops it out, shallow right once again. Perez coming back on it. He will take it this time, make the catch with one hand, 2 away. So here is Jeff Dominguez. Neal starting to get into his groove. He has retired 6 in a row since giving up the solo home run to Kent Mathis. Dominguez 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch, fastball, inside corner, strike 1. Neal has retired 8 of the last 9. 9 of the last 10, rather. And he misses low and in for ball 1. Revs 3, Skeeters 1. Top of the 5th inning, we are 1 out shy of an official ball game here at Peoples Bank Park. Matt Neal getting his sign from Castillo. Here comes the 1-1. Right down George Street, called strike 2. York with 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors. Sugarland 1 run on 2 hits and 2 errors for the Skeeters. Here's the 1-2. Fouled away down the third base line. Just shy of the luxury suites and right in front of a young fan who caught it in her blanket. Well, that's one way to stay warm. You keep a blanket on you and you do aerobics trying to avoid foul balls that are coming right at you. Dominguez ready for another 1-2 pitch. Matt Neal looking for another 1-2-3. He wheels and deals. Missed high, ball 2. Infield playing straight up, outfield doing the same. Neal coming back with a 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3. That one looked like a strike a little bit earlier in this at-bat, but Steele had to reach for it, and Ian Kelly says not quite. So we'll have a payoff pitch coming. First one since the second inning for Neal. The offering. Inside, ball 4. He let him off the hook, and Jeff Dominguez has himself a 2-out walk. And Delwyn Young will try and make Matt pay for that one. Had him 1-2 and ends up sending him to first base. Young walked himself back in the first inning, and he flew out to right field back in the third. Medium lead for Dominguez off of first base. Nash holding him aboard. First pitch is ripped into right field, but playable. Repko coming on, takes a couple of steps, makes the catch, side retired. So Matt Neal working around a 2-out walk. He's at just 79 pitches through 5 innings. For the Skeeters, no runs on 1 hit, no hits rather, no errors, 1 left on. An official ball game here at Peoples Bank Park, middle of the 5th. York 3, Sugarland 1 on Revs Radio, WOYK.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Solomon & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Solomon & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Solomon & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop, and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Jet brand products at Saubles Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Shout out to the Cadillac or the Corvette or whatever the heck that car was that just drove off in center field. It saved us from missing a pitch here on WOYK Radio. Wildeborn Darrell Henry, who is back after enjoying his nice sloppy Joe dinner.
And salad.
Ah, yes. Just to throw that in here.
That.
So, hi, Kristen. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning from Peoples Bank Park. 3-1 Revs as Jason Repko rips one foul down the left field line. Looped over the head of the third base umpire, McCaffrey, and nearly took out a couple of guys in the Sugarland bullpen. Oh, Jason Repko getting big eyes to start off the 5th. He is 0 for 2 today, reached on an error by the third baseman LaRoche back in the 3rd. Eventually doubled off on Perez's line drive that LaRoche snagged. And there's a chopper foul. Past Polo over at the third base coach's box. Come on, Polo, you got to dive for that sort of thing. What are you doing?
He olayed that.
Such hypocrisy by a third base coach who doesn't even have a glove. 0-2 pitch, and Repko fouls another one off of his shin. You saw that yesterday from him, Darrell. Sort of thing that you really don't want to see from a guy who has proven as fragile as Repko has throughout his career.
Why does that happen to him so much? It's like every bad bounce. I mean, 2 years ago, there was one opening in the fence at the dugout at Somerset. A foul ball hit him there.
0-2, he takes low and outside. Nice slide by Rodriguez to block it. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, some guys just got baseball magnets all throughout their body. Some of them take it in the form of hit by pitchers, and some of them take it in the form of using yourself as a human target practice. Fastball just inside, and Repko nearly got one in the shoulder that time as the count goes even at 2-2.
And he never changes the way he plays. I mean, he's close to the plate. He plays all out and then some. He'll never slow down.
Ian Marshall into the windup. Here comes the 2-2. And ground ball, left side, long run for the shortstop, Haig, who knocks it down, and it'll be an infield hit for Jason Repko. He leads off the inning with a base knock to the shortstop. And the Rebs are back in business in the bottom of the fifth inning off of Ian Marshall.
Haig got to it, but he knew he was going to have to hurry with Repko running, and even if he fielded cleanly, not sure that he'd get him from that deep at short.
It'll bring up Josh Wilson with the speedy Repko on first base. Rebs looking for some insurance runs to give Matt Neal the win. He has gone enough innings to qualify for the decision tonight. As Wilson takes inside, flexes the waist out of the way for ball one. Wilson hit by a pitch back in the first inning, and he popped out to short in the third. Taps the plate with the bat, brings it back, standing pretty much straight up is Wilson. 1-0, and it sails on the outside corner for called strike one.
This will be interesting here. The Revs haven't had a lot of opportunities to put things in motion early this season. They've been trailing in games, haven't had a lot of base runners. You're ahead here. This would be a good time to do it with the guy on base and the guy at the plate.
Here's the pitch, jammed him inside, and Wilson fouls it back. The count goes to 1-2.
Although maybe you wait until, maybe with no outs, you don't want to put a whole lot in motion. Maybe give the guys a chance to build the inning and swing away. But wouldn't be surprised to see Repko try to run at some point this inning, depending on how things materialize.
And Jason inches off of first base, and it's a wild throw over the head of the first baseman by Marshall. And Repko won't need to go in motion because the pitcher gives it to him anyway. Third error of the night charged against the Skeeters, and he won on a throw that not even the tallest of first basemen could have caught.
Well, that works too. He's nowhere close to his target.
That must have slipped out of his hand. I mean, there's no way he could have been trying to throw it that high. And Wilson bounces one down the third base line. It's fair, backhanded by LaRoche. A long throw over to first base in time. Took a couple of hops and ended up rolling all the way to its destination. Young picks it out, stays on the bag. An overall nice play from coast to coast on that 5-3 put out. It works like a sacrifice bunt as Repko goes over to third base. And now with fewer than 2 outs, Andres Perez up in a prime RBI spot. Perez lined into the 5-5-3 double play to end the third inning. He'll try and hit it on the screws once again, and with the infield coming in, same spot could mean extra bases for Dre. Marshall with the first pitch, and there's a bouncer, foul, and Pastano laying Polanco. And one of the Sugarland relievers is giving Polo some grief on that one as he tosses it into the stands, and a young fan from West York will take that one home.
By the way, a mist in the sky. It's dropping a little more steadily at the moment. A very light rain here.
A drizzle, you could say. Here's the 0-1. Perez popped it up in foul ground just behind the third base line, and LaRoche comes over to make the one-handed catch, and he juggled it to himself. Dangerous play from Andy. If he drops it, that is the 4th error of the night for Sugarland. But no harm and no foul, and that's the second out of the inning. Revs up 3-1 in the 5th. Looking for more, but running out of chances. Man on third with 2 outs, and Telvin Nash coming to the plate. Rebs have not been without their chances as Repko comes off of third base. The first pitch, breaking ball inside corner, strike one.
It's a good one for Marshall. You don't want to hang it, or Nash will do what he did to Laux in the first inning last night.
Ian gets the sign from Rodriguez. Now the 0-1, fouled off the end of the bat. Nash takes it off the shoulder. He'll step out, lick his wounds, and step back in to face the 0-2 pitch. A Let's Go Revs chant permeating from this crowd at Peoples Bank Park. Friday night and having some fun in the rain. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Pop up, drifting foul. Locating it is Marshall, the first baseman, loses it, and it falls in front of two Skeeters fielders. Young, the first baseman, and Marshall both looking for it, and both of them at least a couple of yards away from the spot it fell.
Big mark on the grass in foul ground where Young slid like a slip and slide. And when it first went up, his hands were to the side. He had no idea where that ball was. We're at deep twilight here. And when it's that high above the lights, you can certainly lose it at this time of night. And looking into the rain, I'm sure didn't help.
One of my favorite colors from the Lowe's paint section. Deep twilight. The 0-2 from Marshall. And there's a foul off the hands from Telvin Nash. He checked the swing. And looks like he saved himself a strikeout as that one appeared to be on the way to the glove of Rodriguez. So Telvin fouls off another 2-strike pitch. He's got Repko on third after a leadoff infield single. Jason went to second on the throwing error by Marshall in the pickoff attempt. Went to third on the ground out by Wilson. Stuck there for the moment. Nash will try and dislodge him and send him home for the fourth run of the game for the Revs. Marshall another 0-2. Foul back to the screen. Nash just getting under it, but staying alive as the count stays at 0-2. Coming up on the 8 o'clock hour here in South Central PA. First Friday night home game of the season and our first Celebrate York series presented by Memorial Hospital giveaway on this Friday night. We'll tell you more about that when we come back for the top of the 6th. The 0-2 to Nash. And it's a drive into center field, but playable or not. Prince going back on it, and it drops in front of him as he's in front of the video board. Telvin Nash strolls into second base. In to score is Jason Repko. It is 4-1 York. And they're going to score that a double for Telvin Nash. Although I think you'd have to equate that somewhat, Darrell, to the more high twilight mischief that's being caused here on these Skeeters fielders. That is at least 4 now high fly balls that they have not been able to come up with.
Yeah, Prince, a very tentative start. He was not convinced he knew where it was. It did keep going, though. It had a lot of carry for Nash.
Now it's Joel Guzman who takes low and outside for ball 1.
In fact, when it went up, the shortstop Haig pointing right away, trying to help his center fielder. Prince did have to range back. But yeah, the twilight, the rain, not easy right now.
And Marshall steps out. He'll grab the rosin bag and try and get a better grip on that ball. Revolution leading 4-1 here as we're still in the last of the 5th inning. Nash on second after the gift double with 2 outs. 1-0 and a ground ball shoots up the middle, past a diving Dominguez and a center base hit. Nash getting the green light, the throw coming in from Prince at center field. It drifts beyond the outstretched glove of Rodriguez. Nash scores. Going to second is Guzman on the throw. It's an RBI base hit for Joel. It is 5-1 Revolution.
Oh, Guzman having a night. And that throw to the plate, Wilfredo Rodriguez, the throw was coming, so he had a right to position to receive it. And that was dangerous for him and Nash, who slid right into him and undercut him, and Rodriguez tumbled over. They were both okay, but you always hold your breath now on those plays at the plate. some of the recent history that led to new rules. It's just an uncomfortable play, and you don't want to see anybody get hurt. But you have to feel for a guy when it's Talvin Nash who's coming at full speed right at you. Good luck concentrating on making a catch. That's like a receiver over the middle with the hardest hitting linebacker or safety waiting for you, and that's what Nash did play some of in high school. He was a big linebacker and defensive end recruit. But yeah, good luck standing in on that.
Well, the hardest hitting linebacker hits in the fifth run of the game for York, or rather just knocks in. I'm mixing my metaphors. We're just going to reset it here. Ergo, pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Ian Marshall is out of the game, and a submariner coming on for the Sugarland Skeeters. Looking for his number right now, and it's a guy who winds up like an accordion every time he throws.
Yeah, he sure does. Oh my, he's practically bowing to the ground when he starts his setup. You can't be any lower. We've seen submariners, but I've never seen one start like that. Doing a deep knee bend and like he's praying to the dirt when he starts.
He doesn't even give us the courtesy of turning around so we can see his number. Hey, turn around!
Good inning, though. Taking advantage of some mistakes, and that's what good teams do. I mean, this hasn't all been handed to the Revs. They've put the ball in play, and big base hit for Guzman, who's now 3 for 3 in the night. It's the Revs' first 3-hit game by a batter this season.
And now he actually he turned around. It's number 31, Chris Tribett is the new pitcher for the Sugarland Skeeters. Thank you, Chris. Making his 4th appearance on the hill for Sugarland this year, all in relief. He is yet to allow an earned run. 5 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts, a 1-0 record. Last pitch with 2 scoreless 1-hit innings against Lancaster back on the 26th. So Tribett's first pitch, submarine style, letter high, strike. Brian Pounds, 0-1. Marshall Chase, after 4 1/3 innings, helped his ERA, although not so much in the last couple of frames for him, as Tribett misses outside, ball 1.
Quite a different look they're getting now.
Peaks back on second base, and now 1-1, stays high and tight for ball 2.
Teams may have, one guy that's a little bit goofy from down under like this. This is the first time the Revs are facing anything like this, though, this season.
And Pounds fouls back the 2-1 pitch, out of play down the right field line. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, deuces wild. It is Guzman on second. He got that after the single, going to second on the throw home after Nash barreled over Rodriguez to score the 5th run of the game for the Revolution. Tribett from the extreme first base side of the rubber jams Pounds inside. It's drifting foul, out of play. And the count stays at 2-2.
That's what you have to do against a guy like this. Just keep fighting it off until you're able to see one well and get one in a good spot to hit.
And there's a chopping foul ball, nearly grazes the back of Anahel Polanco. Third base coach getting more than he bargained for in this inning. Revs 5, Skeeters 1. Revolution with 8 hits on the night. That's approaching their season high. Now the 2-2 coming tight. Count goes full. And Pounds nearly taking Polo out once again down the third base line.
Did he give him bad flips in the cage today, or what?
He must have.
Polo and his flips.
Well, one more hit, and the Revs will tie their season high. They had 8 hits in a game 3 times this year. Now Pounds trickling one over to Polo, who has the sense of mind, the time to field that one and toss it into the dugout. Fourth time this year with 8 hits, the Revolution looking for one more to set that new season high. It is Pounds to the plate, Simmons on deck, Castillo in the hole with 2 down in the 5th. And Pounds drills one down the left field line. It'll trickle all the way to the corner. In to score is Guzman. Going to second is Pounds with an RBI double. It's a 3-spot in the 5th inning. It is 6-1 York.
Well, one in at bat, just fouled off everything that Tribet threw his way, and finally the Submariner made a mistake up, and Pounds was all over it. And when those guys keep the ball down, it's almost impossible to hit it squarely. They've got natural sink. But when you get it up and it flattens out, Pounds able to tee off on it. His second hit in second ribby, and good for him, a big night.
First pitch to James Simmons, misses above the letters for ball 1. And that'll close the book on Ian Marshall. 4 2/3 innings, 6 runs, all earned on 8 hits, no walks, a hit batsman, and 4 strikeouts on 78 pitches. And Simmons rockets one to the opposite field. That'll fall in the right field corner and one hop the fence. Simmons trying for second as the run scores. James slides around the tag. Haig reached out for him, and he comes up short. A hustle double for James Simmons. It's a 4-spot for the Revolution, and it is 7-1 York.
Well, Ken Mathis, we saw it, I think it was last inning. He had a throw from right field on one hop to third. He has a cannon of an arm, and Simmons realized it. As soon as it short hopped the wall, he saw Mathis had it, and he had to dig. And the throw beat him, but what a slide, a Superman type slide, airborne, flat to the ground, to the back of the bag.
Keith Castillo now hits the first pitch up the middle for a base hit. Polanco giving the red light that time for James Simmons. And Castillo continues the inning. An 11-hit night for the Revolution, and we're not even out of the 5th. And now the 9th batter of the inning, Michael Rocket, coming up with men on the corners and 2 down. And for Rocket, this is a spotlight situation for him, just like the Stage Deli has a spotlight on outstanding soup, salads, and sandwiches. For daily specials, including smoothies and catering, you can Facebook search for Stage Deli on George, or visit them on North George Street next to the Strand Capitol Theater. Had to work that in at some point in this inning. It's a 4-run inning. First pitch, Tribet, and Rocket takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Michael, an RBI single back in the 4th inning. And Castillo, who was on first base, overran second and was tagged out to end the frame. Now Rocket bounces one foul down the first base line. And the count goes to 0-2.
Every hitter in the order from 5 down has at least 1 hit and 1 RBI now. See some of those batting numbers go up here tonight.
It's a 6-run cushion. I'm sure Matt Neal will love to see that. The 0-2 from Tribet, low and away. Ball 1. It all started with a Jason Repko infield single. He is on deck. Wilson in the hole. If the Revs, 5 2-out hits in a row, 3 of them for extra bases. And there's a little nubber down the third base line. Tough play for Tribet, who throws it from the seat of his pants. Not in time. Infield single for Michael Rocket. In to score is Simmons. It is 8-1 York.
That's the thing about Michael Rocket. He hit it about 15 feet, but he didn't put his head down about the contact. He put his head down and ran as hard as he could, thinking base hit and RBI, and he beat it by half a step. Tribut an awkward slip. He's lucky he didn't. He may be a little bit hurt. He's taking some time behind the mound and leaning over. And his legs went out as he went to the ground. Plate umpy and Kelly asking if he's all right. He says he is, but first bat-around inning of the season for the Revs, and a welcome sight indeed.
2 infield hits in the inning, including from the man standing in the right-handed batter's box right now, Jason Repko. All these runs scoring with 2 outs, by the way, as Tribut misses high and tight, ball 1. York with by far its highest run and hit output of the season. They've still got a few innings to work with as Repko skies one way foul. Over to the Arch Street Eats concourse and bouncing up to the kettle corn stand. And out near the, I suppose that's an ice cream stand that also has a rave going on because they've got a bunch of flashing lights.
I want to be there.
All right, what's in that ice cream, man? I want some of that. The 1-1 from Tribut, and it's drilled to left field off of the arch nemesis. 1 run will score. Repko stops at first after a turn and a half. It is a 6-run Revolution inning, 9-1 York.
They really are unloading here in the 5th. This has been fun. And Sugarland left the door open for them. Couple mistakes in the inning. The ball in center that, had it been caught, the inning would have been over with no runs scoring. But Skeeters gave them that extra life. The Revs have just stomped on their throats here in the 5th.
Revolution really cashing in like the world's best thrift shopper. And Josh Wilson comes up with men on the corners and 2 down, looking to extend a 6-run 5th, and he waves and whiffs at a slider for strike 1. Well, all the runs just building up. There was a plug in the pipeline, and that give me gift double by Nash breaking it open, and it is flowing now. Wilson jammed inside, fouls it off his hands, and the count goes to 0-2. 9-1 Revolution. 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors. 1, 2, and 4. That's runs, hits, and errors for Sugarland. And Wilson pops one up, foul. Who will get to this one? Third baseman LaRoche coming for it, makes the catch and foul ground side, retired, but not before a behemoth of an inning. Who do you start with? All of them. 11 men sent to the plate for the Revolution in the 5th. They score 6 runs on, we'll total up the hits for you, give them to you after the break. It is 9-1, York over Sugarland after 5 here on Revs Radio, WOYK.
And here we go, folks. She steps up to the box. This is a real pressure situation. 2 kids tugging at her blouse, a long line of customers, and only 30 minutes to get in, get a dozen Maple Donuts, and get to the party.
Oh, boy, look at the time.
Well, if Charlie Donuts All-Stars winds up, and here's the pitch.
Welcome to Maple Donuts. Can I help you?
Yes. No. I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready.
Oh, she steps out. The pressure may be too much, folks. No, wait. What's this? A meeting at the plate?
Okay, Mommy needs to order our Maple Donuts now. Can you 2 be good, please?
And she steps back up to the box.
All ready now?
I am.
She's swinging for the fences.
I'll have 4 glazed, 3 vanilla sprinkles, 3 chocolate icing, 2 jelly filled, and 1 chocolate peanut covered.
Wow, that was Major League. She read every stitch of that fastball and knocked it clean out of the park.
Enjoy your Maple Donuts.
Oh, we will. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's get these Maple Donuts to the party.
There you have it, folks. Maple Donuts, 58 varieties. Ready whenever you need to step up to the plate.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Well, I finally did it. I took my dad's advice and joined his credit union.
Which one?
PSECU. I'm eligible because my dad's a member, but I joined through work.
Really? I thought you had to work for the state.
A lot of people think that, but there are lots of ways to be eligible.
I'm not really thrilled with my bank and all their fees. I need to check them out.
Definitely. It's worth the switch.
PSCCU is the credit union for you. Find your way at psccu.com/join. This credit union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 6th inning, and if you're just tuning in, you missed quite a bit in that bottom of the 5th. For York, 6 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on, and a scoring change. They did change the Telvin Nash gift double into an error by the center fielder, Prince, so all those runs end up being unearned for the Revolution, charged against Marshall and Tribett, the pitchers for the Skeeters. And now we have a pitching change for York, sponsored by Maple Donuts. Matt Neal is out after 5 solid innings, and Mario Checo giving way. Checo into the windup. Here comes the first pitch. Fastball misses inside. Ball 1 to Kent Mathis. It's Mathis, Lamanta, and Barfield due up for the Skeeters in top of the 6th. And Mathis with a solo home run. That's Sugarland's only run so far today. He's going to need a little more than just a 1 to make up this difference. Checo skips 1 into the mid of Castillo. And it is 2 balls and no strikes. Final line on Matt Neal. He had 80 pitches in 5 innings of work. 1 run it was earned on 2 hits. As Checo grooves 1 right down George Street for strike 1.
Well, unfortunately, Wednesday night that lead at Somerset got away. So in the long run, Checo's start may be forgotten, but he was almost perfect. 5 innings, 1 hit.
And Checo misses low and away for ball 3. Ariel, 26 years of age. He is a New York native. He's the first reliever of the game for the Revolution. Now the 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4. So it's a 5-pitch walk taken by Kent Mathis. He's on base to lead off the 6th inning. For Sugarland, it's their first leadoff base runner since the 2nd, when this man, Yohan Lamanta, led off with a walk after fighting off a couple of pitches and seeing 8 pitches in that plate appearance.
It's Checo getting his side work in today,
and now we have Mark Mason walking out from the York dugout. He's going to take the home plate umpire with him.
And here comes Chong. I don't like seeing this. Hopefully everything's okay with Checo.
First look at Chong Choi, the trainer for the Revolution, who was blown away yesterday when Scott and Brian, our video men, a couple of booths over, put his own face on that video board.
Oh, was he?
He was tickled pink. He had never seen it before, and he was so surprised that he wanted to take a picture, but was so lost in the moment that he didn't have the time or the inclination to do it. So at some point he will ask to have them put that back up on the board again and have his big old picture taken.
Checo's leaving.
Well, Mariel Checo, after throwing just 5 pitches, will walk back with Chong Choi.
Yeah, hopefully it's not serious. I mean, I didn't see anything, and then I know he had some. I thought he had some sort of core type soreness early in spring training that he worked through, but he had. Yeah, obviously at this time of year especially, they want to be really protective of these guys, so hopefully just a precautionary thing. He was so impressive on Wednesday night and really high hopes for what he can bring, and even though he was so great in that start the other night, they're thinking maybe relief is still the best role for him, and possibly even a role in the later innings of games. So hopefully it's nothing bad. Hopefully just a precaution and get him back out there soon. Don't want to risk it. If there is anything that's just a little uncomfortable, tonight's not the night to risk it, Will, with it being so cold and damp and the footing, and you just don't want to do that early in a season. So.
Oh, absolutely. So we will see another pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Michael Click getting his first look in front of the home crowd this season. It is his 5th appearance overall for the York Revolution. 3 2/3 innings of work. 1 run he was earned on 4 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. That's a 2.45 ERA. He's thrown 1 wild pitch, has a walks and hits per innings pitched of 136, and a batting average against of 250. Last time we saw him was 2 days ago at Somerset. 1 inning, 1 hit, and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, he had a couple of inherited runners that night that came in, and he's been in grinders of situations almost every time. A couple of his outings he's come in with significant jams already in progress, and he's been asked to get out of those in close games, and early on he did. Wednesday night, those inherited runs scored, but it'll probably be nice for him, and they'll give him as much time as he needs to play catch here and get ready. This was a scramble with Checo leaving with whatever it was that bothered him, but it's nice for Click, I think, to get in a low-pressure situation for once and just kind of get his feet wet a little bit this season. He was thrown into the fire just about every appearance already.
Well, as Click warms up here, that's a good time. We're past due for this, but let's pause 10 seconds for station ID here on Revs Radio WOYK.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Hi, FCC. Will DeBoer and Darrell Henry with you at the top of the 6th inning from Peoples Bank Park. Revs leading the Sugarland Skeeters 9-1. For the first time this year, the Revolution have scored 9 times. 9 runs on 13 hits, no errors, 1, 2, and 4 for the Sugarland Skeeters. A quick recap of the game so far. Revs got on the board for the first time in the bottom of the 2nd, an RBI double by Keith Castillo. Sugarland tied it in the top of the 3rd, a solo shot by Kent Mathis. 2 in the bottom of the 4th for the Revolution, and the floodgates open. 6 unearned runs for York in the bottom of the 5th. All started with an infield single by Jason Repko, then a 2-out gift double that was later changed into an error by the center fielder off the bat of Telvin Nash. That scored Repko. A Guzman single, a Pounds double, a Simmons double, a Castillo single, and an infield single for Michael Rocket. And that is what did it. Oh, and the Jason Repko RBI single as well.
The one thing that's, well, there's a lot of things bad about Checo leaving, but obviously we hope for the best. But they're looking to establish a role for him, again, maybe in relief. So you were hoping to see him in that role tonight, but also now it's one fewer pitcher that they'll be using tonight, when last night they used several. The day before they had a day-night doubleheader, 17 total innings. So you would love the opportunity to rest certain guys and kind of re-rack things in the bullpen for the rest of the weekend. And they will be one man short and in need of one more inning now due to this injury. But we'll find out after the game, get a report on him, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Like we said, nights like this, you definitely want to be erring on the side of caution. Check our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard while we have a moment here. And I think for Click, sometimes as a pitcher, you're the only one out there loosening. You have a tendency to not want to keep everybody waiting, but I'm glad he's not rushing through it. Make sure that he's ready in these conditions. But elsewhere, Somerset a 4-2 lead at Lancaster in the fifth. They're already 8-0. Top of the fifth in Bridgeport, the Bluefish lead New Britain 1-0 in the I-91 battle. And in the bottom of the fifth inning, Long Island at home leads Southern Maryland 6-2. And that's your York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard.
And now with Click as warm as he can possibly be on a low 50s night, we'll face Johan Lamanta. Lamanta 0 for 1 today, walked back in second, grounded out in the third. First pitch from Click, fastball, low and inside, ball 1. Mathis on first base after that 5-pitch walk, the only batter that Mariel Checo faced today. 5 pitches, the walk, and nothing else on his score line. Short lead for Mathis. Click with the 1-0, misses about the same spot inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Skeeters will have to dig deep to get back in this one. They have had just 2 hits, none since the Mathis home run back in the third. Click checks the runner. From the center of the rubber, he's ready. The stretch and the 2-0. Fastball right down George Street, strike 1. Revs up 9-1 as we're in the top of the 6th. It's gone to pitch black night here in York, Pennsylvania. We're coming up on our second hour of the game. We began at 6:33. It's almost 8:33, and there's a big wave and a whiff at a fastball for strike 2. It looks like Lamanta just got it by the skin of the bat. And the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barfield on deck and LaRoche in the hole. Infield at double play depth for the Revolution, wearing those brilliant alternate blue jerseys with the yellow Revolution script in front and the superimposed names of every Revolution player on the back and the numbers. Got him looking, a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Lamanta can't believe that he let that one go by. And there's a big first out from Michael Click. It's the first out of the 6th inning.
Big offseason addition to the bullpen, Will. He was, without question, one of the most effective relievers in the league last year. And not on the most successful team either, but he was a bright spot for Camden. The Revs ended up picking up a lot of the bright spots from Camden.
Now we got Jeremy Barfield up next. Barfield 0 for 2 today. Fielder's choice and a ground out. Short lead for Lamanta. First pitch clicked, swung on and missed for strike 1 at 91 miles an hour. Michael Click starting to do just that. First season with the Revs, the 3rd in the Atlantic League, like you said, from Camden. He's also been in the Frontier League with Normal and with Windy City and with Lincoln in the American Association. Here's the 0-1, fastball, set up outside, missed outside, ball 1.
That one's showing up at 94. Revs have some big arms in the bullpen, to say the least.
Click with that almost Craig Kimbrell-esque stare down with the catcher. Doesn't hold the arm out quite as much as Kimbrell does. Can still be intimidating though, and he comes high and tight on Barfield. 2 balls and 1 strike. Draw some notoriety. Let's try it again. Drew some notoriety. Helps pronounce things correctly. With Windy City back in 2013 with those Thunderbolts. 3.74 strikeout to walk ratio and 12.8 strikeouts per 9 innings. 2-1, fastball inside corner, called strike 2.
That's some sheer dominance that you're referencing.
He was a mid-season All-Star in the Frontier League and pitched 2/3 of a scoreless inning in the Frontier League All-Star game. Now he's protecting a 9-1 lead for the Revolution in the 6th. 1 down, a man on first, that's Mathis. Click ready. Castillo setting up outside. Here's the 2-2. Fastball. Got him looking. And Barfield's not happy about that one, but the home plate umpire, Ian Kelly, admiring the accuracy of Michael Click that time. Castillo setting up outside, and Keith barely had to move to watch that one end up in his gut. Back-to-back looking strikeouts for Michael Click is his introduction to the home crowd at Peoples Bank Park. And now he'll face Andy LaRoche, the K batter of the game. If he can strike out the side after coming in, it's free crazy bread for everybody as LaRoche cue balls off the end of the bat and soars it off the table. There's Ray Jensen, our PA announcer, with the chant of breadsticks.
Now we know we're at home.
Oh, yes. Stop making me hungry, Ray. Click from the first base side of the rubber is ready. The stretch in the 0-1. Low and outside. Slid down just a bit too far, and it's ball one.
Hopefully it's a good sign. I saw Chong return to the Revs dugout, so I think Checo's still upstairs, but Chong's provided the treatment needed and now back with the rest of the team, so hopefully not too terribly bad again.
Thank you, Chong. The 1-1 from Click. Ground ball right up the middle. It's knocked down by Click's feet, and he underhands it over to first base. Pele himself couldn't have done it better. Michael Click does it with the heels, knocking down the ball and retiring the side. For the Skeeters, no runs on no hits, no errors, one left on. Middle of the sixth, it's York 9, Sugarland 1 here on Revs Radio, WOYK.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school on time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. One coupon per child per game.
And now it's time for Rich Eisen.
Wow. Love it, love it.
And we're the Rich Eisen Show.
Do we miss the touchdown celebrations in the NFL? Are we sitting there going, you know what, I wish that somebody could use the ball as a prop right now? I don't miss it. And the bat flip right now, like if there's a kid who's like, that was really cool, and he's going to be like an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, and he's going to take that bat and he's going to just fling it, is that what we want? And this is not what Jose Bautista was doing yesterday. Again, it's that seventh inning, I've never seen anything like it. The emotion that was going on in that stadium, you saw it by the reaction of some of the fans, not all of them, and I'm glad that guy was arrested in Toronto. What are you doing throwing a beer can from an upper deck just because there was a call that went against your team? Let's focus on what the world is all about, okay? Being safe and trying to have fun and being safe at the same time. We're fortunate to be able to go to a game and just try and feel safe and then lose ourselves in it, but let's not lose our heads. That said,
this is the Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
We head to the last of the sixth inning. York leading Sugarland 9-1 here on WOYK. Will DeBoer and Darrell Henry with you. Michael Click inherits a runner from Mariel Checo and sits down 3 in a row, 2 via strikeout to get us to this bottom of the sixth inning. It is Perez, Nash, and Guzman, the heart of the order coming up, and they will face a new pitcher. This pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. It's Chris Rierick, a southpaw from Pooler, Georgia, and it's the third pitcher of the night for the Sugarland Skeeters. Rierick into the windup. First pitch to Perez, and he drives it foul. Now to play towards the Mezzogiorno Picnic Pavilion. And Rierick making his third appearance on the hill this season for the Skeeters. The previous 2 have gone pretty well. This is low, ball 1 to Perez. 2 innings, he's allowed just 1 hit, struck out a couple of men, ERA of nothing. And another 1-1. There's a bounce over to third, taken on 3 hops by LaRoche. Double clutches, arcs a throw over to first base in time, 1 away.
Amazing 13 hits for the Revs tonight, but 2, 3, and 4 in the order have been held hitless. Repko having a good night. Everybody from 5 down is having a great night.
Telvin Nash trying to add his name to the party. Rearick's first offering is grounded right up the middle, shoots under the glove of Rearick and into center field for a base hit. So Telvin Nash does join the base hit party. Thought he had one back in the 5th inning on that dropped ball by Prince. They eventually ruled it an error, so now Telvin Nash with his first official hit of the night.
It's actually really nice to see him get a hit that's not a home run. I mean, we love the long balls, but he's got the ability to be a complete hitter, and I know he's been frustrated with the start to the year, so any hit is great to see.
I think Joel Guzman takes a big hack and a ball above the letters for strike 1. Guzman 3 for 3 tonight with 3 runs, a couple of singles, a double, and an RBI. And he takes one above the letters that time. It's ball 1. Revolution now with 14 hits on the day. It's by far a season high. Guzman trying to get it up to lucky 15. And he does! Another ground ball up the middle past the diving Dominguez. Back-to-back singles for Nash and Guzman with 1 out in the 6th. And the rally keeps on going.
He already had the first 3-hit game of the year for the Revs, and then Keith Castillo joined him. Now he's got the first 4-hit game. With this ballpark, could really see him being a huge force as this season goes and the weather eventually gets warmer.
Now the first pitch to Brian Pounds, a floater upstairs for ball 1. Pounds 2 driven in today, the single back in the 4th and the double back in the 5th. Try to make it 3 in a row, big innings. Rearick looking back at second. Now the 1-0 pitch, way outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitters count coming up right here. And really, I'm not quite sure, Darryl, why Gary Gaetti would send in a lefty at all against this York lineup. 8 out of the 9 hitters are pure right-handed hitters, and Keith Castillo is a switch. As Pounds fouls one back out of play over towards the train tracks by Peoples Bank Park, and the count 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't do it in a 1-run game late. Given the score tonight, he's going to save his other guys for tomorrow and Sunday. But yeah, the Revs have a chance to be just murderous on left-handed pitchers this season.
2-1 pitch high for ball 3, while Mark Mason has assembled a team for this ballpark. They got that massive green wall. I won't use a different term for it with copyright concerns out there, but it's a massive green wall out in left field, the arch nemesis. And guys are going to feast on that all season long as Pounds fouls back to 3-1, out of play, same spot on the train tracks. The count goes full.
And I am of the belief in this league that if you have a hitter that's, just for the sake of the argument, a little bit better and he's right-handed, I would go with the better hitter, not worrying about forcing a lefty in to balance things.
Payoff pitch from Rearick. Got him looking. Pounds was looking outside. Rearick came inside on him. First strikeout for Chris Rearick tonight, and there's 2 away in the 6th.
Somebody Art Harmon just brought a flower to the booth. I don't know why. Never really been given a flower before, but it does smell nice. It's blue.
Someone's got a fan here in the stands.
Secret admirer.
My goodness. James Simmons checks his swing, takes low and in for ball 1.
Thank you, fan.
You're welcome. What? No, I didn't say anything. 9-1 Revolution as we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Revs on the verge, if this result holds, their first home win of the 2016 slate. Now Simmons fouls one off at the end of his bat into the mid of Rodriguez for strike 1.
By the way, they'll be facing a left-hand starter tomorrow night. Former Rev Brian Morgado will start for Sugarland against James Simmons for York.
It's James Simmons, the pitcher, with James Simmons, the hitter, up now, and he waves and whiffs at a fastball up near his shoulder, and the count goes to 1-2.
Now James L. Simmons on the stat sheet for the hitter, James Lewis.
Rierick is ready. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. Rodriguez comes up with the ball, and that will retire the side. So a couple of base runners for the Revolution, but they can't cash in. For the Revs, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Into the 6th, your score, York 9, Sugarland 1. Darrell Henry will take you home here on Revs Radio, WOYK.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Let's go! The NFL has a policy here. Johnny Unitas was going to be honored by Peyton Manning. He was going to wear high-top black shoes. The NFL said, no, you couldn't do it. Pat Tillman was going to be honored by Jake Plummer, and the NFL said, no, you can't. Craig Ironhead Hayward's son was going to honor him with eye blank. D'Angelo Williams, whose mother died of breast cancer in 2014, he wanted to honor her the entire season. The NFL said no. This was explained to me by the NFL years ago, that if we allow this for Peyton Manning with Johnny Unitas, which seems like a no-brainer, then what happens if you get Jimmy Lipper, who wants to honor his coach, and he's going to wear something? That's where the NFL, you may not like it, but it makes sense that you just say, no, we're not going to allow it. We can't allow this to happen. Because then everybody would be doing it.
The Dan Patrick Show.
We are going to PAR-TY.
Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. All right, let's try this one. Wherever you are, WOYK is... That blows. How about... Wherever you are, WOYK is watching. No, that's creepy. Let's try this. Take Sports Radio 1350 on the go with the new WOYK mobile apps. Available for download today. Bingo. The new Sports Radio 1350. Available anywhere via the WOYK mobile apps. First in York, first in sports. The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
The Revs lead it as we head to the 7th inning. 9 runs on 15 hits and no errors. 1 run, just 2 hits. 4 errors for Sugarland. Ugly line for them. Michael Click stays in, and Rick Haig will lead things off. It's one bad thing. Well, again, there's nothing good about Checo leaving, but Click going multiple innings now. Probably wouldn't use him tomorrow, but we'll see. Haig 0 for 2 tonight. Is flied out and grounded out to short on a great play by Josh Wilson sliding left and Talvin Nash scooping. And the first pitch of the inning is down low. Matt Neal, 5 innings, just 2 hits, 1 run. Uncharacteristically walked 4 and struck out only 1, but some of that could be attributed to the weather. Click the 1-0 and a fastball right there for a strike. Tomorrow night, our first post-game fireworks display inside the park, brought to you by Mala Aftermarkets. Tickets on sale, YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HITS. at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office. Pitch is popped way up, and Wilson at short, back into the outfield and left. Couple steps out, he'll make the one-hand grab, and one away. Now Haig 0 for 3 on the night.
Wilson had that one-handed catch out there on a pop-up. I'll tell you, Darryl, I always get squeamish when I see guys try and catch it with one hand. You know, you gotta have the fundies. You gotta have those two-handed catches.
Yeah, he's so good though. Here's Wilfredo Rodriguez. And Click with the pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball.
Well, here's a man who doesn't matter one hand, two hands. He would need 5 hands in order to catch all the balls he's dropped tonight.
Yeah, it's been a rough night behind the plate. At the plate, he's walked and popped up. Click ready. Castillo, that low setup pitch is lined upstairs, bangs off the fascia board on the first base side. 0-2.
And that's where you're glad that the ballpark material here is not sentient. Otherwise, you get a lot of pain for that board tonight.
A wicked shot upstairs. Here's the 0-2. Called third strike. Fastball on the outside corner. Michael Click, 5 up, 5 down. 3 of those strikeouts, all 3 looking. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. Now we go to the top of the order and Josh Prince. Also tomorrow night, the People's Bank Park kickoff officially, which features the welcome mat giveaway presented by People's Bank to the first 1,000. That's tomorrow night. First pitch at 6:30. 5:30 gates. And Click. The pitch to Prince. It is a fastball strike on the outside corner.
I suppose we promised to mention the promotion for tonight and didn't about an inning and a half ago, but it was the first bobblehead giveaway by Memorial Hospital at Celebrate York Series, and it was Governor Tom Wolf, who either is very, very low-key or didn't come and throw out the first pitch tonight.
The fastball just outside, 1-1. Exciting series, though, this year, Friday nights.
Well, I'm excited for that Marquis de Lafayette bobblehead night on May 13th.
Following night is Therm's jersey retirement.
Oh, man.
It's the 1-1, and that misses up high, a fastball.
Oh, boy, we're having some fun here.
That'll remind me a lot of last night because we'll be celebrating one of the all-time greats again in a very, very unique way. Sacred, if you will. First player in Revs history to have the honor. Pitch to Prince is fouled back off the netting.
That's right. We do have 3 retired numbers here at People's Bank Park. Brooks Robinson, longtime Oriole great, former York White Rose, a minority owner here for the Revolution. Etch, the old manager, led the Revs to back-to-back championships in the Atlantic League in 2010 and 11. And, of course, Jackie Robinson, who's 42, is retired all across professional baseball.
I noticed on the 10-year video last night, they snuck a clip of Etch walking away with second base into that video.
Classic.
2-2, and it's up and in under Prince's hands. Pops in and out of Castillo's glove, a full count.
Prince has still got the gray hood coming out the back of his jersey.
It's like a Rocky tracksuit underneath his jersey.
That is exactly what it is. I've been looking for the description all night. They're wearing tracksuits.
Payoff pitch. Called third strike. Prince slams his helmet. Fired his bat away. It's another strikeout for Click, and Prince is ejected. Arguing with Ian Kelly, pointing at the plate and jawing in his face. And we have our first ejection of the year. Michael Click, 6 up, 6 down. His 4th strikeout, all staring. 7th inning stretch here at Peoples Bank Park. It's all Revs tonight, 9-1 York.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Come on, Colin Cowherd.
Here's Chip Kelly talking about Tim Tebow once he released it.
I didn't feel like he was good enough to be the 3 right now.
He didn't say backup that just gets in. He's not good enough to be the 3rd string quarterback. And here's the thing. You can have him on the roster. You can't have him right behind Sam Bradford, who would pull a hammy yawning.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Individual game tickets are now on sale for the 2016 York Revolution season. Be there as the Revs celebrate their 10th anniversary season with the biggest promotional schedule in team history. 20 giveaways, including 8 bobbleheads, inside the park fireworks shows every Saturday, and a host of incredible entertainment acts like Cowboy Monkey Rodeo, Superstars, the Philly Fanatic, and an appearance by former NASCAR driver Ernie Irvan. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
To 1 is the lead for the Revs as we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Rearick, the lefty, stays in. Darrell Henry along with Will DeBoer from Peoples Bank Park. Game 2 of 70 and hopefully then some. Here in 2016, it'll be Keith Castillo leading things off. But Will, one of the joys that we have as we put together the media notes on a daily basis is researching this date in York baseball history, and got some good ones here for April 29th all time.
We do, Darryl, both in Revs history and in national baseball history. It's April 29th, back in 2008. First home game in a completed then Sovereign Bank Stadium is a successful one.
Castillo taking low to start the inning. He's 3 for 3 tonight with an RBI double.
As the Revs blow out and shut out the Blue Crabs 9-0 in their home opener for their first win of the season.
Here's a swing and a tip foul behind the plate.
So what did you do for that first year there when it was not completed? What was right center field missing or something like that?
Yeah, there was just all of left field was non-existent. Ground rule doubles. Here's a swing and a dribbler foul off to the left. No, it was a thing of beauty, really. It was ours. Even though it wasn't finished, it was unique. We had a dirt pile in right center where the lawn is now. The clubhouse in right was a construction site. Here's a swing and a miss on a slider in the dirt. And Rodriguez couldn't get the grip. Now throws and just got Castillo. As Young, the first baseman, received the throw right next to Castillo's ear. Running down toward first base. It is a strikeout 2-3. First time Castillo's made him out all night. Here's Michael Rocca. But guys would change in trailers out there, and now a different glove needed, it appears. Actually, they had some defensive changes. It's not Delwyn Young at first base any longer. Some defensive maneuvering for the Skeeters, and new first baseman in need of a new mitt. Here's Rocket, who swings and chops one to short. Starting up was Haig, then stopped, played it on an in-between hop neatly, and a long throw to first is in time. Too quickly retired. To get those defensive changes when we can, but yeah, they would hit off tees, Will, out on the dirt pile before games, and the press box in here, we had to strategically plan bathroom trips. Certain amenities were missing. And I remember the first night we had a temporary table set up for the equipment. No carpeting, no ceiling tiles, but the kid from Newark complained about it, but other than that, we were happy to be here as Jason Repko takes a strike. That was a long answer, I'm sorry. Repko 2 for 4 with an RBI. Here's the 0-1, and a slider. He wrinkles it in for strike 2.
Now we do have those defensive changes. Patrick Palmeiro is in to play third base, moving LaRoche over to first, and then Young to right field, and Mathis to center. So you've got Palmeiro coming in for Josh Prince in your batting order.
So that was LaRoche who needed the new glove at first. Pitch low and in, miss. Now the 1-2, and that's down low. Repko, the 9-game hitting streak now. Here's the 2-2 from Rurick. Swing and a miss, a slider down low. And Rurick with a 1-2-3 inning. He's gone 2 innings, and that's his 4th strikeout. He's retired 5 straight, 4 of those on strikes. Well, it's been a productive evening thus far for the Revs. 7 innings complete, on to the 8th, a 9-1 lead.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community.
And hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Does your wealth advisor know how you take your coffee? At Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group, we genuinely get to know our clients, from their interests, goals, and dreams, right down to how they like their coffee. By understanding our clients on a personal level, we help them make wise financial decisions. In us, you will find a trusted confidant dedicated to your financial success. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee, or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series kicks off on Friday, April 29th with Governor Tom Wolf Bobblehead Night. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 8th, 9-1 York. And Ricardo Gomez will make his 2nd appearance of the year. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Came on in Game 1 of the doubleheader at Somerset on Wednesday. 2/3 scoreless. And Jeff Dominguez to lead off. First pitch from Gomez is inside. Dominguez batting from the left. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And Michael Click, 2 perfect innings, 4 Ks. Great outing. Here's the 1-0. And a grounder pulled and skidding foul down into the York bullpen and right. The tarp was on all day until about 5 o'clock here. I don't know if there will be a need for them to do it after the game again tonight. Is there any forecasted? There's a swing and a pop up straight up. Castillo looking up, turns and tiptoeing backward, and he's got it onto the warning track. He almost slipped as the surface beneath his cleats changed, but right behind the 10th anniversary logo, straight back, Castillo handles it for out number 1.
Well, Mace sounded hopeful that his boys were going to get some batting practice in on Saturday afternoon. It would have been their first batting practice since Monday. Now the Hourlies Looks like really nothing. We may go without rain for the first time this home season.
Here's Delwyn Young. And a fastball just missed from Gomez. Young 0 for 2 with a walk. Now looking in, he's set. And the 1-0. That misses outside. Well, Will, we were talking about great moments on this date in York baseball history and beyond. And we've only touched on one thus far. As Gomez comes set. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed.
All right, we have Darrell, and it was 2011 that the first championship team in club history was honored with a pregame ring ceremony, and the Rebs began their title defense in 2011 there with an 8-2 win over Camden at then Sovereign Bank Stadium. So really a sandwich moment there, honoring the past and beginning the present with a team that ended up winning back-to-back Atlantic League titles.
That was a great opening night. Pitch here is swung on and fouled straight back. Young will keep it alive, 2-2.
And beyond that, on the national scene, April 29th of 1939, back when there was a White Rose team here in York, Lou Gehrig had his 2,721st and last career hit, most ever in Yankee franchise history.
There's a swing and a miss, a slider from Gomez, and Young chops over top of it. A strikeout for Ricardo, 2 away here in the 8th.
Derek Jeter broke that record about 70 years later, but Lou Gehrig, one of the greats in Yankee history. And then in 1986, April 29th, the future Sugarland Skeeter, Roger Clemens, became the first major leaguer to strike out 20, as he of the Red Sox then struck out 20 Mariners in a victory that night.
Had that on YouTube in the office earlier today.
Sure did.
Here's Kent Mathis.
Right next to all the busy work that we were doing.
That's right.
Too, yes.
Exactly, yes. There's a slider from Gomez that just missed low.
And a couple of birthdays to point out as well, Darrell. 58 years old today. Gary Cohen, voicing the New York Mets on SNY. One of my broadcasting idols there.
He's a good one.
He's a very good one.
Pitch misses outside. It's 2-0.
And then more significantly, a happy 60th birthday to my own father, Larry, back in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Oh.
Listening in tonight. Well, hopefully listening in tonight, so we can hear that.
Happy birthday, Mr. DeBoer.
The big 6-0.
The 2-0. And a foul tip straight into the backstop padding. Big hack from Mathis on 2-0.
Well, Dad shares a birthday with Gary Cohen. My grandma shares a birthday with Willie Mays, and that's coming up on May 6th. I'll tell you that story when we get to May 6th. Hopefully we're at home then, and I can get to tell that story.
Does your dad care that you shared his age?
Not particularly. Someone was gonna.
Do you care if he cares? It's a fastball away, 3-1.
What is this, careception? No, and the Rebs are on the road at Southern Maryland that day, so I'll tell you now. Grandma and Willie Mays sharing the same birthday. She was a year older than Willie Mays, and every year when she came down the stairs on her birthday,
the breaking ball, strike called, 3-2.
The family would be waiting, and they would all say, "Happy birthday, Willie Mays!" Oh yeah, and Mom.
How'd that go over?
Oh, it went over well. Willie Mays was her favorite player, too.
Yeah?
They were a New York Giants family, you know.
3-2, and a slider dips down low. Mathis draws the walk. It ends a streak of 8 straight, retired by the Revs bullpen. First base runner for the Skeeters since Mathis walked back in the 6th. You know, one thing tonight, Will, you made up for that goose egg that you put up in the middle 3 innings last night.
Oh, yes. 8 runs in those innings I called tonight.
You've outdone yourself. There's Johan Lamonta, who takes in tight, ball 1.
I would say we should keep track of how many guys score during innings that we call, but then again, you do all the road games, so something tells me it'd be quite lopsided.
Foul back to the screen. We could average it. but we keep track of enough, I think. Got to draw that line in the sand, Will.
Mm-hmm.
And I have drawn it in permanent marker. There's the 1-1, and a foul back off the netting again.
Rather impressive, that being sand.
Boy, it wasn't easy.
So that's what you were doing earlier today. You were out in the parking lot here at People's Bank Park. There was sand somewhere.
Wind really undoes the work. I was out drawing that line. The 1-2. Swinging a bouncing ball, second base. Perez waits for the hop. He's got it. Sidearms to first. Inning over. Ricardo Gomez, a scoreless eighth in his second appearance of the year. No runs, no hits, one left. And we go to the bottom of the eighth inning. Revs lead it 9-1.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. One coupon per child per game.
Come on, Colin Cowherd.
The pitcher who gave it up, who should worry more about getting his two-seamer on the outside part of the plate, Sam Dyson, he wanted to talk about that 1 second of raw human emotion where Jose Bautista, flipped a bat.
Jose needs to calm that down. Just kind of respect the game a little more.
You gotta be kidding me.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over.
Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Waking you up like no one else. It's Steve Zabin.
Last night you said you were going to watch hockey with my sons and my daughter and I, and wake up and then play golf after
that didn't
the show
happen.
today. No,
So are you still going to just play golf? It's like
No,
you
I
keep
don't
on
think so.
chopping stuff off your to-do list.
No, I think I'm not playing because it's going to be too windy.
Your batting percentage on going to Scott's house is like the Washington National.
Very poor. But yeah, sorry about that.
Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. The revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
To 1, the Revs lead as we head to the bottom of the eighth inning. John Velazquez, the new pitcher for Sugarland. A pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts, former Camden River Shark late inning man. And Josh Wilson to lead things off. 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Does have a great defensive play tonight. First offering is a fastball for a strike. Outer corner at the knees. The 2 and 3 hitters on this great offensive night still without a hit. Wilson trying to change that. He swings, fouls it back, up and onto the roof. Repko's got 2 hits. Nash with 1. Then Guzman, the big bat tonight, 4 for 4. Pounds with 2. Castillo with 3. Rocket with 2. Simmons has an RBI double in there. 0-2. And it misses down and away, glancing off the catcher's mitt. Revs took a 1-0 lead in the second. A Castillo 2-out double. Sugarland tied it in the third on a Mathis home run, 1-1, but York then 2 in the fourth, 6 in the fifth. Pitch to Wilson. He just got a piece of it, and a foul straight back. 9 runs, 15 hits, no errors for York. 1 run, 2 hits, 4 errors for Sugarland. It's been a long time since the Revs have had a game like this against the Skeeters. Here's a swing and a miss on a ball down low, tag applied, and that's out number 1 here in the 8th. They have been a very turbulent opponent, if you will. Revs 30 and 51 all time, and at home 14 and 28.
Ooh.
Better on the road, 16 and 23, but
how does that happen?
That's A little wacky. Pitch to Perez, a fastball, it's a called strike. You might have to go back. I mean, we can look. You might have to go back to Sugarland's inaugural season, 2012, for a potential margin of victory this big. There's the 0-1, and that misses down low.
I think Harpo Marx broke into the booth and is now bogarting the microphone over there. I'm hearing a honk. Just like that.
Right on cue. There's a ball up high. 2-1. Actually, the one I'm thinking of, June 19th, 2012, the man at bat hit for the cycle against Sugarland as Perez pops this one straight up out near second base. Second baseman Dominguez has it and makes the one-hand grab for out number 2.
There we have an attendance number on the night if you want to take a guess at it.
Okay. 31-78.
A little lower.
I don't know why I stumbled there at the end. 30-26.
Lower than that.
28-42. Here's a dribbler to second base from Telvin Nash. And Dominguez charging, dumps it over to first to end the inning.
I will tell you now, 27-79.
All right, a hearty bunch on this nasty night weather-wise. Revs will look to finish this one off, headed to the 9th. Looks like DeMarc will get an appearance despite the big lead. 9-1, Revs lead it.
Summer is about taking time for what really matters. Spending time with the family, enjoying nature's beauty, having a healthy lawn you can be proud of, plus the time to enjoy it. With Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, you get world-class environmentally responsible lawn care from a hometown team. The result is a vibrant, beautiful lawn that turns heads and boosts curb appeal. Visit us at heritagelawnandlandscape.com.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What if I told you your family of 4 could have an all-inclusive outing for only $55? The York Revolution are telling you that right now. The Family Fun Pack includes 4 flexible ticket vouchers to be used whenever you'd like, 4 food vouchers for hot dogs, chips, and drinks, 2 playground wristbands, and a parking pass. Again, $55. Have more than 4 in your family? Additional tickets and food vouchers are only $10. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Revs a 9-1 lead. Mike DeMarc comes on here in the 9th inning. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts, as Jeremy Barfield will lead things off. Will DeBoer standing by down by field level for a post-game interview with a member of the winning team. Barfield tonight 0 for 3 is DeMarc with the high set. Kicks and fires. It's a fastball right there for a called strike. DeMarc 3 saves in the opening weekend series at New Britain. That came in 4 team games, 3 appearances for him. The league's first to multiple saves. He had 3. Nobody else had more than 1 as Barfield, a big whip through the strike zone and came up empty. That swing looked like it hurt. 0-2. DeMarc, the fastest in Revs history to 3 saves. 0-2 pitch, called third strike, punched him out with a fastball on the outside corner, and DeMarc wasting no time, 1 away. 6th strikeout for the bullpen tonight. The previous fastest to 3 saves in Revs history was Adam Thomas in 2007, the inaugural season, and he did it in 12 team games. DeMarc did it in 4. Here's Andy LaRoche, who fouls the first pitch straight back. Our K-man tonight, 1 for 3. Unplugged the wrong cord. I cut myself off there. Now we're back. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch here misses high and wide, 1 and 2. A little line malfunction. I was off for a pitch. 1 and 2 on LaRoche. 9-1 the lead here in the 9th. DeMarc fires and a foul tip straight back. Looking for breadsticks now, or crazy bread. That would be just nuts. Revs 2 outs away from home win number 1 of the season. A 1-2 slider lofted to shortstop. Wilson back a few steps into the outfield. He squeezes it. And they're 1 out away. 2 down here in the top of the 9. Sandy De Leon lives on here thanks to Ray on PA. And with 2 down, here is Rick Haig. Tell you what, the conditions are about the same as last night, but it doesn't feel nearly as cold when you're ahead 9-1. First pitch to Haig is a fastball for a strike. It could also be that I've dressed warmer tonight. Another one of those nights where I decided to put on the pants. There's the 0-1, and a swing and a drive in right. Repko going back on it. He'll have room. Backing up in deep right. He's got it. Game over. And the Revs with their first home win of the year. It is a convincing 9-1 triumph against the Skeeters. And it snaps the 4-game skid back within a game of 500 at 4-5 through the first 9. And a 15-hit attack leading the way tonight. A 6-run 5th inning ballooned the lead, and 5 pitchers combined on a 2-hitter. Matt Neal picks up his first win of the year. Will DeBoer's getting handshakes down in the line post-game. With the mic looking for our post-game interview, our Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis, and Calkins player of the game, Joel Guzman, 4 for 4, huge night. And Will's going to get him for us down on the field. Our GSLSC player of the game, Joel Guzman. And Will, take it away.
Music up there. Wow. Well, now you got to go with this one.
No, they're having a chat. Take it away, Will.
All right, we are down here on the field with Joel Guzman, player of the game today. Joel, 4 for 4, a double, an RBI, and 3 runs. What was working for you so well at the plate today?
I was trying just, to put the ball in play, get a good pitch to hit, just make contact. I'm trying to get too big, just, try, take, one at bat at a time.
It's been a rough go of it offensively for the team, but they seem to have broken out now. 6 runs yesterday, 9 today. Is it just the comfort of coming home and playing in front of these home fans that's doing it for you?
We're working a lot, since spring training. That's the way it is. It's baseball. It's early. We got a good group of guys, great hitters on the team. It's coming along. So all the guys we've been swinging the bat pretty good. So it's coming along.
One last thing, we mentioned just before the interview started here, you wanted some new walk-up music before this game began here. They didn't get it in time for this one. Are you going to switch, or are you going to stick with this one?
Well, I mean, I'm really thinking about it, but now since you mentioned that, I mean, I think I'm going to stick with that one.
All right, thanks, Joel, and go celebrate with the team.
Thank you.
All right, Darryl, we'll send it back to you, and I'll join you back up there in the booth in a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Will. Joel Guzman, our GSLSC player of the game tonight. That's awesome. He wanted new walk-up music, and it was a little too late in the day, and he ends up going 4 for 4. That's one way to decide to stick with your current music selection. But what a game, what a breakout game for the offense tonight. All season highs for the